Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video, we'll be having more talks about World of Warcraft pre-patch and what the release of PTR coming to pre-patch could mean for our anticipation for the actual release of Shadowlands. I also want to talk a little bit more towards the actual pre-patch, as a lot of you guys have been asking me, is it worth coming back to the game right now? Or maybe should you wait for pre-patch? Are you going to be super behind? Is there going to be any kind of catch-ups? What kind of systems will you expect if you come back in pre-patch versus coming back to the game currently? And I'm going to talk a bit more about what pre-patch has to offer in order to help you guys figure it out in this video. So I hope you guys enjoy the discussion on pre-patch, as so far the events in the pre-patch on PTR have been quite exciting and quite a lot of fun. So let's get to some of the detailed stuff first. The storyline for the pre-patch is going to be, well, Sylvanas heads over to the Icecrown Citadel and rips apart the Helm of Domination, the helm that held the Scourge back. There's a reason why Bulver said there must always be a Lich King. This is why you'll see a variety of undead invasions throughout Azeroth. And right now we're not sure if there's going to be invasions very similar to the Legion invasions, where there'll be, let's say, a big marker on the map or anything like that. Maybe it's too early in the PTR and Blizzard simply hasn't implemented anything like this yet. So a lot of the invasions with undead seem either based on questlines or seem to be almost completely random, at least those away from the capital cities. But Blizzard is going to be kind of fusing the current world as well as the new world of Shadowlands through a little bit of this ICC Wrath of Lich King theme to it, with the similar factions of Wrath also coming back, like the Argent Dawn. It's very similar to the Legion invasions, where they try to kind of take the current world, a little bit of BC, and then transition it into Legion. So I'm very excited how they're going to go about with this expansion in particular, because it really gives me that good Legion vibes. Speaking about good vibes, let's ruin them, or let's spark them up for you guys, depending if you like the new event, where you have these infected zombies invading every orifice of Azeroth. They'll be in Orgrimmar, they'll be in Stormwind, they'll be in Legion Dalaran, and in Wrath Dalaran, as it seems that players have been able to figure out how to get the infection buff and somehow take it into capital cities. To talk about the Blood Plague all over again. The best part about zombies, and for some of you guys it might be the worst, is you can actually kill NPCs like guards or vendors, which spawns more zombies. And those vendors have the same powerful abilities to infect others as you do. And as a player zombie, you can actually kind of shout out to nearby zombies that are NPCs, and they will follow you. So if you can get 5 of them to run with you from one portion of Stormwind into another, just kill a couple level 5 vendors or level 10 vendors there as a level 50 zombie, then it'll be very easy for you to build up your army. And then guards start spawning constantly, and guards starts getting killed, and that spawns more zombies, which spawns more guards, and then eventually just have zombies literally overrunning the area. Blizzard even established these Argent Dawn purifiers to cast holy fire at any zombie they see. And it's supposed to be an ability that is supposed to one-shot them, but with so many zombies all auto-attacking them at once, I mean, it's an immediate one-shot. And while this whole event is hilarious, and I love how the players themselves can actually become zombies and turn their friends into zombies, you are also going to be bringing a lot of functionality into this new pre-patch. Like, for example, the leveling experience revamp. A lot of players are going to want to try out the Chromie event, where they play through Legion or WoD or Mists of Pandaria or any of their favorite expansions in order to get some tunes up and running. If you think right now leveling in BFA is pretty quick, and it really is in comparison to what we had prior, the Shadowlands expansion and leveling, even with the XP buffs removed from your heirlooms, is going to be even faster. So we're expecting for this to be a enjoyable part of the content where players can level through their favorite pieces of content as well. But we'll have to wait and see just how good is it gonna be. And having a bunch of zombies all over the place, completely stopping you from even being able to enter any of the capital cities, that being maybe Undercity, Orgrimmar, Stormwind, Ironforge, and players can take this buff to anywhere, to the Legion version of Dalaran or the Wrath version of Dalaran. Players are able to take the infected buff in a variety of places. So Blizzard, I think, is going to have to be very careful in how they implement it. Maybe limit the zombies to one area, or maybe make zombies not as common, for the first few weeks, but as it nears to the release of the expansion, they can maybe turn up the dial and really let the chaos happen. But it's going to be a bit of a balance here between balancing the chaos and fun of the zombies and also the player experience, especially for the new players coming back into this expansion. Some of you guys have been wondering for quite a bit, when is PrePatch going to happen and when is Shadowlands going to finally get released? Some of you guys even trying to figure out the best time for you to take a day off from work or whatever it may be. And we have a bit more information, not really anything solid by Blizzard themselves. Honestly, it would be nice for them to kind of give us a ballpark here. But with the PrePatch getting into PTR, if we follow by the trends of Battle for Azeroth, we could be seeing the PrePatch come in maybe a month, and the release of the actual expansion in about 2 months. So the trend that happened in BFA was actually very, very similar. The PrePatch for Battle for Azeroth was released on PTR, and then literally a month later, the actual PrePatch came to live servers. And in about less than a month or so, with about 3 to 4 weeks somewhere in there, came the release of the expansion of Battle for Azeroth. Now, it's perfectly possible for Shadowlands to take as much time in development and maybe even longer than expected before the actual release. The only thing we've heard from Blizzard is they wanted for Shadowlands to be maybe a November release, but also no guarantees there either. All we know for certain is it was going to be at some point in Q4. So I guess it could be October, November, maybe even December. So the idea of 2 months away is a likely possibility, but it's by no measure a guarantee of any kind. For example, if you're a rogue player, you'll probably say that, I don't think there's ample time for us to test everything yet, because, well, rogues actually have had a couple talents that have been a coming soon talent since the beginning of Alpha, and so far Blizzard hasn't replaced them with a real talent just yet. Plenty of other classes have had certain gaps filled in, and even have been able to test quite a bit of conduits and most of the legendaries, if not all. I mean, we haven't even been able to test any of the Solitaire Rogue legendaries, the majority of Outlaw Rogue legendaries, or even the one legendary we just found out earlier this week for Assassination. However, if you're any other class, just about every other class has had plenty of changes and quite a bit of testing done. So it's not like the Blizzard is super behind on every single class and every single spec, but certain specs are not final, that's for sure. But if the PrePatch did come out in literally a month, Blizzard already established a couple different NPCs that can let you buy, even though still for testing, the questing catch-up gear. The item levels on this gear would be equivalent to that of a 445 item level pieces, which are just as strong as, let's say, Neolotha normal, which would be perfect for anybody coming back to this game just for this expansion. And for one of those NPCs, in Orgrimmar as well as Stormwind, they already have a currency implemented, even though we're still not aware how to get this currency just yet. But Blizzard has already been making plans, so they are really far ahead into this PrePatch, and they are aware of exactly what they want to do, even though they just released it. So the possibility of next month, potentially, or in the next 2 months, having Shadowlands been released is likely. However, it's just there's a lot of testing that hasn't been done. But a lot of progress has been done, and one of the things I really want to give credit to Blizzard is the amount of listening as well as design changes they've done based on community feedback. It feels like every single week there's some sort of an issue that where players have found, maybe some sort of a design change they didn't like making Torghast, for example, be locked behind a key system, very similar to Horrific Visions. Players expressed their displeasure, and Blizzard has made the changes, which is going to make the expansion only better. As for last words of advice, if you're someone who is trying to mull over, do you join the game in Battle for Azeroth or do you wait until the PrePatch? I think it's really up to you, depending on what kind of player you are. If you're someone who has friends that are playing and a guild, I'm pretty sure a lot of players, like myself, is very excited for old friends to come back to the game, show them the ropes, maybe help them get a little bit of gear, run them through a couple 15s, because even 15s are not that difficult with a little bit of skill and a little bit of patience and a little bit of gear with all these crazy corruptions. Even if you're someone who is not going to be able to get all the best in stock corruptions, it's not like you're going to need them in a couple months from now. There's still achievements to collect that are going to be gone with this expansion, as well as certain mounts, and this will be the perfect time to do it. However, if you're not really an achievement kind of person or a mount kind of person, Shadowlands pre-patch is looking quite exciting and will be a perfect time for you to get to know your class, see what changes have come, if any new abilities or old ones came back to your class, and figure out what you want to play in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope it answered some questions for you guys about the pre-patch, and I'll see all of you in the next one.